my business partner, and he is on the Ready Plan Grow Instagram feed. So for those of you that are interested in learning more about the topics that we cover, please follow Ready Plan Grow. And not only will you learn from me on managing your business from an operational standpoint, certainly business projections and marketing topics, which Ryan is also an expert at, but Ryan is an AI expert, and I am learning so much about how to automate my business or our business through the work we're doing. More importantly, that's what we're doing for our customers. And we were just offline. Well, I guess we were on Zoom. We weren't on Instagram,
Right.
talking about a meeting that we had today with a customer. And one of the things that Ready Plan Grow does that I specialize in is helping founders. I work particularly with women in gaining confidence around their numbers. And I think what I was most shocked about, and Ryan, you started to express a point of view that I partially agree with and partially wanted to punch you in the face about. One of the things that I see a lot is this lack of confidence in founders that don't have a financial background when they have to think about their business from a numbers perspective. So long story short, met with this founder, incredible business, profitable on paper, if you will, but there is an insecurity in some of the decisions that she's making because she doesn't want to upset her employees. And then actually, if you rewind back, when we first started working with this business owner, it was about pricing and pricing strategy and not upsetting her long-term customers by communicating an increase in price. So I think what connected for me when you and I started talking is there's a lot of emotion in the conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
And one of the things that numbers help you do is rip out emotion from your decision making. I'll let you keep talking now, and you can express your point of view, and then I'll decide if I want to smack you or not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm always ready for a good smackdown. I was explaining to you, Marcella, earlier when we were offline, that I have come across this many, many times with business, either with an employee, a manager, people on a team, as well as business owners. My core belief, and it's pretty much set in stone, and I have argued with people about it, is there is no emotion in business. Decisions need to be made by the numbers, because the numbers are backed up by data, and data will make the decision for you. If you are going to get attached to making emotional decisions in business, I'm sorry, that you are going to get walked over, you are going to get used, and you're going to end up with no money. It's that simple. That's my take. Now, I have a much more compassionate disbursement when I'm talking to people, but in a nutshell, that really isn't distilled down. The emotion has to be taken out with these decisions. Are people going to think that I'm a failure? Is this, all the things that we think? We're human. We all think these things. It's how do you deal with those thoughts once they come into your head? And you've got to create that. No, this is business. This is dollars and cents. I need to stay net positive. And if that decision doesn't make me net positive, then that's not a decision I need to make, period. It needs to be that cold.
So I don't fully disagree. I'm looking at these different buttons on Instagram, cool stuff, but I have no idea what they are, so I'm just not going to do it. So I don't disagree with you, and that's why I believe so deeply in numbers first thinking and decision making. And that's both from an existing business and certainly growing a business like we're trying to do and building it from scratch. we're not at scratch anymore. We have customers. But
Exactly.
when you're early in the game, numbers should lead. I think the challenge is what you said, that there's still a human
Hmm.
running the show. So the challenge of learning to get numbers in front of you so that even if you are going to at some point make an emotional decision about your business, you can at least understand the consequence of that emotional decision.
True.
So if you're going to continue to bleed out margins because you believe that doing A, B, or C is important for your employees, then you have made a very conscious decision to do it rather than guesswork. And then you, the business owner, becoming very emotional yourself at the end of the year when the numbers don't equal profit, don't equal a bonus, do not equal an investment.
Correct.
And I think that's where
You're right.
it shifts a bit for me is, okay, I should know that I have to run a business and that I shouldn't be emotional. But depending on the type of person that you are, I personally am an emotional being. I do care about the
Me too.
consequences of those decisions. And therefore, I can at least say, well, I put it to paper, digital or otherwise.
Right.
And I can now say, yes, I will still make that same decision, but I see over the longer term what the consequence of that decision is.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really great clarification on the brutality of what I what I said, so to speak. Because you can make an emotional decision in business. We all do. I mean, I've done, you've done, we've all done, and we will. But I think the understanding of the numbers, like you say, so that if you choose to not adopt a more brutal situation, you can at least see the ramifications of that decision, and that's important. But I feel that the clarification of knowing the consequence of your action, being emotional, and you can see that in the numbers, is basically the key to the whole thing.
Agreed. Agreed. I think that's a great nuance that we both came to
Yeah.
without being which is again why when you were like, there's no, I was like, I'm going to fight with you about it. I was like, let's go.
Exactly. Right.
I think that's the nuance is if you're flying blind,
Yes.
or as I say, if you're driving without headlights because you don't know your numbers, because you don't know where you want to go,
Right.
then you're not sleeping at night because you have this uncertainty sitting in your head, which leads to that uncertainty, leads to imposter syndrome, leads to, can I really do this?
Yeah.
Or worse yet, the nervousness that the business is falling apart. Well, you don't know if the
Right.
business is falling apart or not because the
Exactly.
numbers aren't telling you the story. So I
And
think that's
that compounds, right? Because if you are an emotional person and you don't know the numbers and you're in that situation that you just described, that's purgatory for someone who's an emotional person, and drive you insane. You know, so
yeah.
that's where the numbers come in as like your anchor, and you can still get emotional about it, but at least you know where it's going to end up,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. And I think also if you're blessed enough to have employees and a business that has profit and hard decisions to make, then you can point to those numbers to tell your own employees that story and say, listen,
Yeah.
this is the decision I made for all of you as a benefit. This is why we're not doing A, B, or C, going on a corporate retreat
Right.
or
Right.
going out to dinner at Christmas or whatever it is, because I decided to take that margin and put it back in your pocket rather
Exactly.
than doing these other things. So I think that's the other beauty of it is you can story tell even internally
Hmm.
using those numbers,
Right.
even if the decision was emotionally charged.
100%. 100%. And if you are, I'm just thinking, I'm one that likes to, with my employees and my team, I always like to make sure that they're getting something extra. They feel good. I'm very emotional about my staff, right? I know that. So I have to be careful. But if you can go to the staff, because you know the numbers, and say, hey, guys, look, if we all put $15 a week in this pool at the end of the year, we're going to have a great corporate retreat. I'll match what you're going to put in. We'll have a nice corporate retreat. So you can appeal to your emotional nature, make those plans, know that they're not financially detrimental to the business, and everybody's happy, and you're going to sleep better as well. So it's key to everything, really.
It really is.
Uh,
And I think there's an excitement to also having those employees be a part of the brainstorming, right? Okay, I'm trying to change this number by X%,
right.
right? I'm going to increase margin or increase our costs, or not increase our costs, increase our margins or increase how much we're charging by X%. What can you all bring to the table as far as ideas
Yeah.
so that we're all making a comfortable, even though I don't like comfort in business, even though we can all have a more confident, that's a better word, a
Yeah.
confident decision together rather than you second guessing me as your boss, as your founder leader, if we've all agreed. I
Yeah.
think that makes you a better leader,
Oh yeah.
especially if you do like to lead with transparency, which is a whole other topic that sets my temper off like
You me
because
both.
I
Yeah.
beeping can't stand companies that don't run transparently.
Me too. That
I
is
think and we can come back online and talk. Ooh, that's another great topic.
it.
Definitely come online and talk about that because I think transparency leads to, yes, some nervousness because then,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, this is what's happening. But it gives your employees the foresight that you need, which you only have if you understand your numbers. So,
Yep.
obviously, we can go off on a million tangents around why these things are important, but I wanted to share that story today because at the end of the conversation, the confidence that our customer had because we were putting a plan together
Mm-hmm.
was I could have hugged her. I was just so excited to see the shift in her body language and in the excitement that she had for her business because she was going to start moving forward, building a story around her numbers. And she's not
Right.
done that before.
It's
So
so
I
it
think that's
is.
super exciting.
It's immensely empowering, immensely, and to be able to take individuals that this case in point where this client has a good business, is making money, is in the position to do these things that we're discussing, and to empower them and give them that is the secret sauce for us. That's the gift. That's what we want to be bringing people on. That I think it's amazing, to be able
It
to
really
do that,
is.
and it's not complicated either.
Well, you read my mind as you often do. It's no longer complicated because of AI.
Correct.
So, closing thought,
Yep.
if you are afraid of numbers and you are running the other way because you're not that person, then follow Ready Plan Grow, join us
Yep.
because we have an AI knowledge base that walks you through how to build out those projections. More importantly, it's secure. We just went live on YouTube talking about data security. So we create that knowledge base in Manus, Manus, so that you can go in and have that conversation with the knowledge base with AI that's already trained on your business. And that's really the magic behind it is you no longer have to be afraid of those numbers or those spreadsheets because there's AI
Yep.
plus my brain and your brain injected into it that will help you get through that. So to me, that's the most exciting part of this. It was when I was teaching this in other coaching platforms, it was such a hard topic. And we
Right.
spent hours and hours in office hours trying to get people to understand beyond the glossary, beyond the jargon annoying ass words that they have to walk away feeling like they're a CPA. We don't have to do that anymore. So if you are or identify as a person who is not a numbers person, come join us and we'll have a chat
Absolutely.
about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, Ryan, welcome to Instagram, sir. I
Thank you.
finally got you in here. Keep your
Yes.
phone charged, and we'll be back soon to talk about some of those other topics that we just ran through. I think they're important for business owners.
Yep.
For my friends and family that are tolerating my going live on this channel often, I want you all to know what I'm doing and what I'm working on. I think I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Number one. Number two, we need to build our followers on our Instagram
Okay.
at Ready Plan Grow. So please follow it so that I can stop annoying the lights out of you guys and only go live on the business channel once in a while.
Absolutely. Yeah. Share
Bye
us
everyone.
around. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Bye
it.
guys.
Good to see you, Marcella. Take care.
Bye Ryan.
Bye.